morning and welcome to HUD News at 9. Today is going to be July 13th. If you're new to my channel, I have the largest library of videos on COC housing, HUD housing, affordable housing, Section 8, and every conceivable type of low-income housing that you could dream up, okay? I have a website that details every link to every operational manual, which means these are employee manuals. You get to see the scoring system, how to get yourself a little bit higher up there. And so today we're going to talk about domestic violence and how to get that type of housing. We'll also look at the rules, the policies, and all the different things. Look, if you want to know what the website address is, it's simply in the description or in the comments section. You can visit and take a look at the information along with me, okay? But stick around and listen to what I have to say, because interpretation is 9/10 of the rule. If you don't understand what you're reading, you're not going to get very far from it with it, okay? The second thing I want to say is, look, any attempt to restrict, take down, or remove this video on principle will be referred to the United States Attorney's Office and ACLU. So if it is a YouTube employee reviewing this, attempting to restrict it, or anybody trying to report it, I can tell you right now, I will turn it directly over to the U.S. Attorney's Office and let you deal with the federal government there, okay? Because these are their guidelines, and on principle, you cannot restrict this information, okay? With that being said, let's move on. So once you arrive at my website, you'll see it as a plain white website. There are no advertisements, there are no spam links. Everything on the website is a direct connection to .hud, .government, .federal, .state, .city. There are no private blogs, no private websites, and occasionally I may put a major news organization that's trusted and that is not biased one way or another, okay? So we don't deal with political motivations or any religious motivations. All right, moving on. So as you can see, there's a wealth of information here, and I cover a lot of subjects. And so domestic violence is going to be under your manual section, and you'll see it down here, domestic violence housing. Also, later this week, I'll have the HUD Housing 202. A lot of people want to know about that as well, okay? So moving on to domestic violence housing. A lot of information here. So what I've done is I've formatted everything where you can kind of get a basic read of this, because I don't want to turn this into a 1-hour video. We're going to do it in 10 minutes or less, okay? So the first thing you'll notice, you have links, HUD 5380 all the way through 9167, okay? So these are just Word files. When you open a Word file, it doesn't download anything on your computer. There's nothing nefarious about it. That, it's just simply information in the Word file, so I don't have to make 98,000 pages for you to read, okay? So we'll take a look at one real quick. And I'll put it on my desktop, save, and then as you can see here, I've got it here. It's just a Word file. And then it goes in, here it is. Okay, that's all it is. So it tells you the requirements you must meet and are. And so it goes through a long list. Every one of those links is going to open up a Word file. That's all there is to it. There are no external links to this information. It is simply the manuals. If you went directly to the government, this is what you would get. You would actually get a Word file. You would not get a PDF or anything like that. So I'm just letting you know. You have the option of dropping that on your screen and open up as a Word file or not, okay? That's the best I can do for you guys. So we're going to go back up here to the website. Sorry, I'm having trouble here navigating with the stupid camera in the way. Okay, I'm going to get situated. Okay, besides that, the website contains suggested videos and also how to report housing discrimination. So you're welcome to go through the site and look at all the different options you have. So we're going to go back to the domestic violence real quick. So besides those 5 different forms you can read, they're self-explanatory. I don't really need to ramble on about that. You have additional resources, including the national hotlines, the local hotlines, and then but for the purposes of YouTube, I'm not going to say specifically what those words are, because that just motivates YouTube to try to lower the video, but you can read what it says, okay? And then it goes on a little bit more information down here. And now, if you're also homeless, there's a same program, but it runs through a different program, okay? So let me explain this, okay? So you have 2 options in the world these days. You can go into HUD itself and then deal with them from that perspective, or you can go to a continuum of care if you're homeless, and then you can go through them through there, okay? So their rules apply. Now, how this all differentiates. First of all, I want to tell you guys, look, do not try to game the system, okay? DV housing, domestic violence housing, is a pretty quick process. There's not a lot of people in the program that I'm aware of, and so you get housed pretty quickly. And there's a lot of resources dedicated to this, okay? So sometimes it makes that program a little bit of a target of people that are trying to fake it till you make it. Look, you have to prove that something's actually going on, okay? Do not try to roll in this program because you're trying to game the system, all right? The same, now look, just like any other private waiting list, just like the ones they have for emergency assistance through HUD, where they have a separate list they don't tell you about, DB's kind of the same way. The only way that you would rank higher on a domestic violence housing would be is if you have the same factors you're looking at when you apply for HUD or a COC, which means if you're elderly, if you're female with children, if you are homeless, if you have mental problems, physical problems, which these are actual disabilities, then that would give you an edge over a person that does not. So you're same domestic violence, but you have more problems, okay? So that would be the scenario in which you would get higher on a very short list. To be frank with you, I don't really think you need to invent a bunch of stories outside of you just going through domestic violence in order to get housing fairly quickly. It is a system that has to be proven, so there's going to be more documentation requirement with that. But I think that sufficiently speaking, police reports, obviously are a contender, okay? They will take certain things on value, self-reporting when you're talking about it and you haven't reported, but they're going to push you to report it, okay? Also, if you're already housed, there's a lot of rules apply to you to bar eviction and different things like that, okay? And then there's other things, programs that will assist you with the cost of housing. I'm going to check the time real quick, make sure we're not running over that 10 minutes because, like I said, a lot of the stuff is self-explanatory. We're at about 6 minutes, so we'll continue. So it can help you with rent. They also help you as an emergency. People pick you up and take all of your stuff, within an hour. People basically come in while the offender is gone and help move everything out that house and then get you to a second place, okay? So there's a lot that goes into this stuff. That's why it requires more proof. So if you are a victim, I would first make a call to those hotlines, okay? That way they can hook you up with a person that knows how to handle that situation. The second thing is I would definitely go through all these manuals. That way you can start preparing your documentation, other things that you're going to need in order to make this successful. And then my heart really does go out to you because I don't think anybody should have to go through this. One thing that most people learn from me on my videos is if you're going to abuse the elderly, if you're going to abuse women, children, or animals, I gotta tell you straight up, I don't like you. If that's the kind of stuff you're doing, I will disown people that I know that do any of that stuff. I cannot stand that, okay? For those of you who don't know me very well, I went through it in my own house growing up, okay? So I can tell you my feelings behind that, and I can't express as much as I'd like to in this video, but I can tell you if I ever saw that personally go on, that I would probably, we'll leave it at that. So let's go on down the list here, and they're going to give you some pointers and partnering advice for the PIT programs, and then also let you know information on your COC down here. And then I'm going to go back up out of the homeless arena, which is the COC. Now, I want to make something very clear. You do have the option to go through a COC program or a HUD program. If you don't know what these programs are, I have a ton of videos. It's just a simple search within my YouTube channel, which there are links for that as well, okay? And you can look at those programs and see what qualifiers those are. Now, one thing I want to make clear also is down here that they also issued a final rule in 2017. We'll take a look at that real quick. This will bring you to a PDF. Look, I understand that not everybody wants to sit here and read 20 miles of information, okay? But these final rules that they did give you an exceptional amount of advantage and grants and things that will help you get yourself to the level. They understand, look, if you're a housewife, if that even exists these days, they understand you're not going to have the money to get in your place. So there's funding in place to help you get out there, get employed, get into a home, stuff like that. So they understand that you may not have anything, okay? So they totally get that. So I would read into all these things. The more informed you are, the better, okay? Because you don't just want to walk into a program not knowing anything, then you're at the mercy of not knowing. Okay, so don't make your situation more difficult than it already is, all right? So you need to be well informed. That way you can start preparing your exit from the situation you're potentially in, okay? Well, folks, I think that just about covers it. I'm going to check the time real quick. So we're at about 9:52. So if you have questions or comments that are legitimate, you're welcome to comment below. My email is always in my videos. If you have private details that you'd like to share that you don't want to publish on the internet, I understand that. I will help you the best that I can. I am not a social worker. I'm not licensed in any state, okay? All I can do is give you advice based on the information that I've already consumed, try to interpret, and help you in that arena the best that I can, okay? So with that being said, I'm going to close the video out, and I wish all of you success in getting out of that situation. Okay? Thank you.